dobry moi kochani, witam bardzo serdecznie w Zabawiankach i dzisiaj zapraszam na podróż do Wielkiej Brytanii. Kraj, który jest naprawdę niezwykły, który administracyjnie jest monarchią i z tego powodu chociażby warto tam zajrzeć. Ja zwróciłabym chętnie uwagę, Waszą uwagę na 4 takie krainy charakterystyczne dla Wielkiej Brytanii. To jest Anglia, Walia, Szkocja i Irlandia Południowa. Oczywiście każdy z tych krain ma swoje jakieś tajemnice, ma swoje jakieś niezwykłe istoty. Na przykład Anglia słynie z tego, że tam może jakieś duchy w Tower grasują. Walia z kolei ma jakiegoś smoka. Natomiast w Szkocji jest takie jezioro Loch Ness, gdzie jest Nessie. Taki, słuchajcie, tajemniczy, bardzo tajemniczy potwór, który zamieszkuje tamtejsze głębiny. Jest to potwór z Loch Ness. Ale Nessie może być całkiem sympatyczna, jeśli jej oczywiście nie spotkamy tak naprawdę. Więc zapraszam Was w tę podróż już jak najszybciej. Bierzmy się, zapakujmy to, co niezbędne i ruszajmy w drogę. Zapraszam serdecznie.
Welcome in Great Britain!
What's your name?
My name is Renia.
My name is Ola.
Wielka Brytania leży na wyspie.
Stolicą Wielkiej Brytanii jest Londyn.
Ja skupiona na drugiej taksówkę. Ola maluje czerwony autobus. Jedziemy. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Take the key and locking up, locking up, locking up. Take the key and locking up, my fair lady. Are you paying silver gold, silver gold, silver gold? Are you paying silver gold, my fair lady? Jakie znacie najbardziej znane miejsca w Londynie?
To jest most, który się nazywa Tower i tu było kiedyś więzienie i tam królowa Elżbieta przechowuje swoje najcenniejsze klejnoty i to jest obecnie muzeum i tam można oglądać, są właśnie te klejnoty na widoku.
Ja tu mam London Eye, a tu jest widok z tego. I mam jeszcze zdjęcia Big Bena.
Big Ben to jest taki wielki zegar, który ma 4 tarcze. Jest bardzo wielki. Najbardziej taki charakterystyczny dla Londynu. Dobrze. A czy możecie mi powiedzieć coś więcej o królowej Elżbiecie? O dworze królewskim? Tam leży gdzieś obrazek pałacu, gdzie mieszka królowa. Tak? Jak ma na imię królowa?
Elżbieta II.
A czy możecie, ktoś ma rączki wolne, pokaże, Ola już ma przygotowane korony królewskie. Właśnie ta na dole korona to jest korona, która została najpóźniej zrobiona na potrzeby królowej. Jest lekka i dobrze się ją nosi, natomiast tamte na górze są bardziej takie królewskie i starodawne. Na jednej z nich jest góra światła, diament, który przywędrował do Londynu aż z Indii, przez Pakistan i wiele wieków właśnie wędrował tutaj do Londynu. A berło jest o tyle charakterystyczne też i ciekawe, że w berle jest taki ogromny diament, który nosi nazwę Wielka Gwiazda Afryki. No i jak się nazywa trzecie insygnium królewskie? Korona, berło i
Jabłko.
Jabłko, złote jabłko królowa Elżbieta także nosi.
The Old King's Secret. There was once an old king. He had no son to be king when he died. His people were very worried. "Who will be the next king?" they asked. But before the king died, he revealed a secret. His only daughter, the princess, had a child. In secret, she married an ordinary man, and they had a son. Some people said her husband was an artist, and some people said he was a musician. But his identity was a mystery, and nobody knew about their secret son. When the baby was a week old, some men took him while his mother was sleeping. The princess died immediately. Some people said for sadness. Other people said someone gave her poison in a cup of wine. The man left the baby with a very poor family. This poor family lived in the forest, and the boy became a shepherd. He looked after goats all day. The old king made an important decision. "The boy must be the new king when I die," he said. He sent his servants into the forest. "Find the boy and bring him here." The servants found the boy and brought him to the palace. When the boy arrived, he was very happy. He immediately fell in love with all the beautiful things around him. He took off his old leather tunic and put on his fine new clothes. Then he began to explore the castle. He ran from room to room, admiring all the beautiful statuettes, paintings, and jewels in the palace. The people of the city talked about him. "The young king spends all his time admiring statuettes," they said. "Beauty and art are the most important things for him." In fact, the young king was so fascinated with beautiful objects that he wanted more of them. He sent merchants to India to buy ivory and jade. He sent men to Persia for silk carpet, and others to find amber in the north. He sent servants to look for green turquoise in the magic tombs of the Egyptian kings. The young king thought about all these things, but most of all he thought about his coronation robe. He was 16, and it was his coronation day the next day. He was very happy because he had a beautiful coronation robe of gold, a crown of rubies, and a sceptre of pearls. He ordered men to work night and day to prepare his coronation robes. "Search the whole world for the biggest rubies for my crown and the most beautiful pearl for my sceptre," he said. The young king was in his beautiful bedroom, and he was thinking about his coronation robes. It was night time, and he looked around him. The room was full of silver and gold and beautiful colors. Through the window he could smell perfume of jasmine. He could hear a nightingale singing and could see the moon shining. Servants arrived and put flowers on his pillow. He was very happy. Tomorrow was coronation day. He played beautiful music on his lute, and midnight he closed his eyes and went to sleep. That night the young king had a dream. This was the young king's dream. He is in a horrible dark building. There is a terrible smell. The small windows have bars and not much sunlight can enter. But in the poor light the young king sees lots of people working. They are making clothes. They are very thin. Their faces are hungry and their hands tremble because they are tired. Pale children sit in the dark corners of the room. The young king watches them. A man speaks to him angrily and asks, "Why are you watching me? Are you my master's spy?" "Who is your master?" asks the young king. "A man like me, but I have poor clothes, and I'm very hungry. He wears beautiful clothes and is very rich. We work for him all day. We make wine, and he drinks it. We work on the land, but he eats the food. We are his slaves." "But this is a free land," says the young king. "You are no man's slave. In war, Weak men are the slaves of strong men. In peace, poor men are the slaves of rich men. Are you all slaves? Yes, the women and the children, the old and the young. Suddenly the young king sees the cloth on the machine. It is gold. The young king is terrified. You are making some very beautiful gold cloth. What is it? It is for the coronation robe of the young king, the man replies. When the young king heard this, he screamed and woke up. But he saw the yellow moon at the window and soon slept again. He had another dream. This was his second dream. He is on a long boat. The sun is very hot and 100 slaves are rowing the boat and working. The master of the boat is giving orders. He is black like a bunny and has a red silk turban on his head. In his ears he has big silver earrings. Someone is whipping the slaves while they work. Finally, the boat arrives in a small bay and the master throws the anchor and a long rope ladder into the sea. Some men take the youngest slave. They tie a heavy stone to him and throw him into the sea. The young slave disappears into the water but returns to the boat many times. Every time he returns he has a beautiful pearl in his hand. The master of the ship looks at the pearls and puts them into a little green bag. The young slave returns to the boat for the last time. He is very pale and tired. In his hand he has a very beautiful pearl. The pearl is round and white like the moon, but the young slave's ears and nose are full of blood. He falls and dies, but the master of the boat laughs. He takes the pearl from the young slave's hand, and the other slaves throw his dead body into the sea. This pearl is for the sculpture of the young king, he says. When the young king heard this, he screamed and woke up, but he saw the stars at the window and soon slept again. This was his third and last dream. He is in a tropical forest. It is full of strange fruit and beautiful poisonous flowers. There are snakes in the grass, parrots in the trees, and monkeys and peacocks all around. The young king sees lots of men working in a dry river. They are digging the ground and cutting big rocks and stones. Death and Arise are in a dark cavern. They are also watching the men. Death says to Arise, "Give me 1/3 of your men." But Arise refuses. "No, they are my servants," she says. Death is very angry when he hears this. He sends malaria to kill 1/3 of the men. "What have you got in your hand?" Death asks. 3 grains of corn. "But why are you interested?" she asks. Death says, "Give me 1 grain of corn to plant in my garden." But Arise replies, "No, it is my corn," and she hides the corn in her pocket. Again Death is very angry when he hears this and calls Fever. Fever comes in a red robe like fire, but touches 1/3 of the men and kills them. "Now give me a grain of corn for my garden," says Death. "No, never," replies Arise. Death is extremely angry and calls Plague. Plague arises from the sky, flying like a bird, and kills the rest of the men. Arise screams and runs into the forest. Death takes his red horse and rides away, fast like the wind, and the dragons and terrible monsters come out of the rivers and the valleys. The young king cries and says, "Who were these men? What were they doing?" "They were looking for rabbits for a king crown," replies a voice behind him. The young king turns and sees a man in white. This man has a mirror in his hand. Which king? He asks. Look in the mirror, and you will see the king, replies the man in white. He sees his face in the mirror, screams and wakes up. He sees the sun shining at his window. It is his coronation day.
Jak się nazywa najbardziej znane miasto w futbolu?
Manchester.
A najbardziej popularny piłkarz w Anglii?
David Beckham.
A jak się nazywa rzeka, która przepływa przez Londyn?
Tamiza.
I właśnie moja siostra płynęła statkiem królowej Elżbiety i tu mam bilet z tego, a to jest taki piesek z tego.
Pamiątka, prawda? Pamiątka, Renatko? Okej. A oto bohaterowie Kubusia Puchatka.
Jestem kłapouchy. Dlaczego jesteś taki mały, Kubusiu?
Za mało miotków wsuwam.
Jak chcesz, to możemy iść kupić razem w naszym sklepie.
No ale to jest tak daleko.
Oj, Kubusiu. Ale ja i tak nie chcę, bo jestem za bardzo śpiący.
No to idź spać.
Pa!
Pa.
A na koniec pozostańmy przyjaciółmi Wielkiej Brytanii, bo skoro Wielka Brytania już opuszcza Unię Europejską, to nie znaczy, że to jest koniec świata. Będziemy tam mieli przyjaciół, naszego Kubusia Puchatka między innymi i mam nadzieję, że cały dorobek kulturowy. Kojemy pudding, ulubione danie dzieci angielskich. Anglii i nie tylko, te historie, które słuchaliście, może właśnie o tym Starym Królu. Oczywiście przepraszam za mój angielski, bo on nie jest taki najlepszy, ale mam nadzieję, że zrozumieliście coś z tej baśni. A jeśli będziecie mieli takie życzenie, to dajcie znać, przygotuję Wam tą baśń po polsku. Więc żegnam się już z Wami, żegna się z Wami cała ekipa Kubusia Puchatka i do zobaczenia w następnym kraju. Pa, pa!
They think of prisoners, torture, executions, beefeaters, and ravens strutting around. This is largely down to the famous legend. If the 6 resident ravens leave, the tower will fall and the kingdom with it. During the reign of Charles II, there were hundreds and hundreds of ravens at the tower, and they were interfering with the works of the astronomer John Flamsteed. He approached the king and asked if the ravens could be removed. But the king, mindful of the old legend, instead decreed that 6 birds would be kept here at all times, and that the Royal Observatory be removed to Greenwich instead. The Ravens' Day begins at sunrise, when they're released from their night cages. The tower is quiet at this time, before the visitors arrive, and for a few hours they take over the place, kings of the castle. The ravens are free to roam all day, but return for their feeds. At the Raven Master's request, the ravens return, albeit reluctantly, to their cages at sunset. We've had some characters over the years. Raven George was dismissed for eating television aerials, and in 1981 Raven Grog was last seen outside the Rose and Punch Bowl, an East End pub. The ravens make distinctive noises. The Raven Master's job is to feed them, doctor them when they're ill, and counsel them when they're stressed. He's the only one who can get close to the birds, as he's built up trust with them, and the only one they will respond to. There are 9 ravens at the tower today, the required 6, plus a few spares. These birds are the largest members of the genus Corvus, the crow family. In the wild, ravens typically live to 10, 15 years. But the oldest raven to live at the tower was called Jim Crow, who died at the age of 44. The ravens eat 170 grams of raw meat a day, plus bird biscuits soaked in blood. Once a week, they enjoy an egg. Ravens have amongst the largest brains of any bird species. Their intelligence can be seen in such behaviours as problem-solving to get food, remembering where other birds have buried food in order to steal it, and even engaging in play. Forget about the soldiers, beefeaters, and fortified walls. Legend or not, the ravens have a very strong claim to being the true guardians of the Tower and London, and therefore the whole